Welcome to the Tunbridge Wells Borough Council What We Do podcast. What are your names and what are your job titles?
Hi there, so my name is James. I'm part of the electoral services team. I've been here for about a year.
My name's Ellen and I also work in the elections team as an elections officer, and I've been here a year and a half or so.
What is your team responsible for?
So we do everything relating to elections, so the elections themselves, all the admin in the run-up to elections, any queries relating to elections if people want to get registered or on the electoral roll. And so anything like that, you come to us and we help out.
We also run the annual canvass each year, so we have to contact each household within the borough and make sure we get a response from them to make sure whoever's eligible to register in that household registers if they want to.
So what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So on a standard day, it's mostly admin, so people telling us about their change of circumstance, so whether they've moved into the borough or moved out, or people have passed away, or if we're just dealing with queries relating to possibly upcoming elections, or we might speak to political parties if they have a question on an election as well. So that's our standard day-to-day, really.
So what kind of qualifications and background do you need to get into this role?
So nothing specific that you need. It's quite good if you sort of know a bit what goes on. So before I worked in polling stations, so I understood sort of the whole polling day side of things. I was a poll clerk and then I was a presiding officer as well. So it's quite a good understanding what actually happens on polling day in a polling station. I also used to work at the Gateway as well, so that gave us a good understanding of sort of what happens in the run-up to an election, and worked on account as well. So it's good to know sort of what happens when an election is going on, but you don't need any specific qualification.
Yeah, so I have less experience in terms of election, but I did many years ago have a politics degree. But yeah, like Ellen said, it can be just enthusiasm and willing to learn.
And there are any soft skills, things like listening or communication, that you think are really valuable?
We do a lot of checking, so making sure, so attention to detail is really important. We have to obviously check all the ballot papers, names. We just have to be really thorough in making sure that we're taking the correct information, and then when that's published, making sure that's all correct. So sort of attention to detail. And especially in the run-up to an election when it's so busy and stressful, you've got to try and manage your time. You know, what's most important when there's deadlines, because we're very strict on deadlines, we can't go past specific dates. So sort of looking at that and managing your time and making sure you don't sort of do the same process for too long so it's not too repetitive for you. So it's sort of like changing your workload as well around that.
Yeah, in the run-up to the elections, it's lots of calls, lots of emails, just making sure that everyone's aware of what they can and can't do when it comes to the election.
What is the most satisfying part of your job?
I guess there's a massive satisfaction in actually delivering in the election. The last one we did in May was very successful. It's a borough-wide, there's thousands of people involved, so to get it all done, working through the night is great.
Yeah, and I think that shows when you're at the count and everything's happening as it should, and you can just sort of sit back and look at everything happening, and you realise you were part of that and you helped that all happen, and it's all going successfully. Yeah, it's really quite satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.